on the brink of disclosure. And I'm going to keep saying that to remind us what season we're in, because there's a reason for this season. We are in the season. Welcome in, welcome back, YouTubies. Y'all hear the birds calling. Woo, woo. Welcome back. I am Celestial Earth. If this is your first time, I'm an energy transmuter. You know, I change what we do. We alchemize. I alchemize energy. So I'm an energy alchemist. And I work with the energy centers. Right now we're working with the full moon transmutation. So, whoever signed up for that, we getting started with that. That started yesterday, and that's helping to transmute some energy to release some of the densities. Because what a lot of people don't realize is in this rising, in this, not literally the sun rising, but yes, in this rising that I'm speaking to you, in this particular rising of the temples, it's not about just the information that you're collecting. This is the age of the knowing, yes, but it's not just about information that we're collecting. This is about what we're doing. This is about accountability. Saturn just went retrograde yesterday while the galactic new year was happening, and that's bringing up accountability. Now, what are you going to be able to account for? What are you doing differently? And for a lot of us, that's setting boundaries, right? 5, change, making the changes that we need to do to set these boundaries. And this is what I want to share with us about the 5-5 portal. So in the 5-5 portal, again, going back to the 5D calendar, because this is what's going to help us get off that true time, get off that Gregorian old false matrix timeline and find your true timeline. That is what this tool is here to do. Is it the ultimate calendar? No calendar is. There are many calendars. The difference is just knowing if it's a true timeline calendar. And I'm telling you, if the calendar does not align with the stars, it's not in a true time. The universe is divinely ordered and orchestrated. If it's not aligned with the stars, it's not true, right? So as I said, this is aligned with the months. The true months are what they call signs, like Gemini, like Cancer, and as I said, we are in the month of Leo, right? So this is the 5-5 portal. In the 5D timeline, this is the 5-5 portal. Those who are emerging, the true timeline collectives that are emerging on the true timeline, on their own, finding the truth of themselves. These are the ones that have been waking up over the past 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years, saying, you know what? This is not a true new year. We've seen a lot of videos. I'm sure some of y'all have seen it, where people have been calling out the fact of the matter that January is not the true new year. Some people have been saying April Fools. We've been hearing a lot of different, versions of it, right? Because, and some of them say April because that is true as well. In the month of April, before the Gregorian calendar, there was a Julian calendar, and there was like I said, 2 more other calendars, and they had it where the new year was the 1st of April. The 1st of April was the new year for real. And that's how we got April Fools. Because what happened is when the Gregorian calendar, whenever they decided to switch it and make January the beginning of the year, they all switched it and made everybody else feel like they was crazy and retarded. Ooh, they don't want me to say those names on the ticketed top. They made everybody feel like they was off. So what they would do is when New Year's came, when April 1st came and people were ready to celebrate New Year's, they turned it into April Fools. They made a laughing stock of them. They laughed at them. April Fools, April Fools. And so that's how everybody got April Fools. When you're wondering what it's about, it really was a new year. But if you go according to the cosmos, it is when Aries started. Aries is the first month. So that's month 1. So that's what I was saying. Thank you, Spirit. Bringing me back to the cosmic messenger. What did the cosmic messenger bring? Well, as it left our system in March, there was an energetic seal as it was passing Jupiter. And as it passed Jupiter, the sun went off 4 times, like shots fired from the sun 4 times. So there was this definite connection as it was passing Jupiter and exiting out. And there was there was this cosmic threshold, if you will, that I call the energetic seal. Some of you may have felt it. Some of you maybe didn't feel a thing, but some of you may have sensed that, hey, something's a little different. And that's because you were either in the energetic sealed, you were either sealed in and then beginning to really walk in this light of all the codes you had gotten while Third Eye Atlas was upgrading all of us in this entire solar system. Or some of people may have gotten locked out of the seal, right? It doesn't mean that you're didn't make, where's something that you didn't make, but it doesn't mean that damned, like I'm damned, I didn't make it, that's the end of the world. No, it just means that for some reason you weren't locked in the seal and encoded in the seal for your purpose, for your ascension. And so those who are more locked in are getting by right now with more ease than others. Doesn't mean our lives are that much better, but we're able to manage it a little bit more. We're seeing a little bit more. Our discernment has been sharper since then, right? Because of what you have been seeing, because you're in the seal, you've sealed yourself within the energetic seal. So what I'm saying to that is these are the people who are realizing a true timeline. So that would be the first month coming out of that, right? So coming out of is that Austin? Love and Light, Austin, welcome in. So that coming out of that would be coming into the first month being Aries, right? Which I'm going to show y'all. This is the first month, Aries, Asar, the first month of the year, the true timeline, new year, right? Obviously, it's not the only new year because we just had the galactic new year yesterday, according to the Mayans calendar and the ancient ones. That is the galactic new year. According to just us here on Earth and how we cycle through time here, the spring equinox begins the new year. So you will see that the first day here is the spring equinox. That is the first of Aries, which is the first of the year, right? Spring equinox, Happy New Year, right? So now bringing that back to, which brings us, if that is the first month, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer is the fourth month, and then Leo is the fifth month, which brings me to what I'm talking to you all about now. Which way is it? This way? Where is Heru? Oh, here we go. The fifth. I know it's backwards, but this is the fifth. So being that it's a 5-5 portal on the 5D calendar, today is a 5-5 portal because it's the fifth day of the fifth month. And days are degrees, right? So if you check your for those of you who check where the sun and the moon and stars are, if you check and you look it up, it should say that the sun is at about 5 degrees. It might not be exact, but if you look, maybe for some people, because I realize that Google will say one thing, another app would say something else. It's not going to be exact. But if you look, you'll see where it may say 4 degrees and 30 minutes. It may say, if it says 4 degrees still, it's going to be about 30 minutes or more because it's on its way to 5 degrees, which means it's on its way to the fifth day. For some of you, you may look and it may say 5 degrees. It may say the sun is in 5 degrees because each degree. So when you all hear degrees when it comes to the sun, with the sun, because that is the earth. That is how the earth tick-tocks around the sun. So it is where the earth is in Leo at a solar perspective. Because as I always say, it is us that are moving around the sun. So when they say the sun entered Leo, no, it is us, earth. We entered Leo at now 5 degrees within the sun ship of Leo. Does that make sense? Faithfully, I ain't confused nobody. Let me see if anybody have any questions. So, and I want to work with this more. If there's a portal day, I'm definitely going to come on, especially if it's in the 5D, because what Spirit was highlighting to me is that in utilizing this more, it's going to accelerate us bridging it. It's not even just for you, for me. The more I utilize this and refer to the 5D timeline, is the more I'm bridging it in, the more I'm etching it in to my timeline intentionally. right? Because it's one thing to have these calendars, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I didn't even use my calendar as much as I use it now, even though I, created it, co-created it with my spiritual guides and some galactic help. um the first year of this calendar, I didn't use it as much as I'm using it now. It was like, oh yeah, I got to check the calendar now. Like, I'm really more being called into utilizing and checking it, and it's reminding me, like, look at the portals, and it's highlighting certain bridge codes and things like that, because there are bridge codes. Oh, all the birds are around right now. The spiritual thoughts are here, right? Let me see what some of you all are saying. And if you have any questions about the calendar, so I'm putting on my glasses, so let me know now if there's any questions. I love your, oh, thank you. You mean my earring, because it's missing one, but I love it so much that I'm like, I'm gonna be like Punky Brewster. I just showed my age. I know if anybody's in my age range, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna be like Punky Brewster. One earring, one shoe on, one shoe off, different color, that type of thing. Um, Let me see. Greatness, coach, unique. Peace, love, and light to you, unique goddess. Diva's a goddess. Hello, and peace, and love, and light. And thank you for liking the earring, right? Oh, we got the Jesus peoples in the room. Where can I buy the earrings? Oh, I don't even remember where I got it. And you see, I won't give it up because I lost one and I will still wear it because I can't find it anywhere. Like, you could look online, but you'll find something similar to this, but it'll be like a smaller version. Because I did see one and I bought the smaller version, but it just doesn't feel the same. So, but look online. If you look online, I don't even know where to tell you to look online, but I did find it. I did find it somewhere. Let me see if there anybody else. Let me see if there are any questions that you may have about the. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. I'm just scrolling down to see if anybody had a question, comment in YouTube. Okay, no, y'all just here rolling with me. Cool, cool. All right, so let me get a heads up. Let me get a count. Anybody here, where the 144s at? If there's anybody here that's been feeling the call, seeing a lot of 444s or the 144, drop a 144 in the chat. And let me drop some hearts there. Drop a 144 in the chat. Let me know where y'all at. That's Nefertiti. Yes. Yes, she is. And I do resonate with that Nefertiti essence and energy. In my ancient codes, in my ancient bloodline, somewhere in there. There are 360 degrees in a circle. Add 5 degrees and you can spiral to the next level instead of staying in that stagnant. Ashe. And somebody says, I see 111. You see 111 a lot. The Trinity of new beginnings. Your codes that are coming to you is that you are seeing Trinity of new beginnings, right? And that's another thing. When people see angel codes, I always like to clarify that. I know it's like angel numbers or the angels are talking to me. Angels are angles of light, right? I'm not saying there's no angels out there, but there's a aspect of this, a perspective of angels are angles of light, because those angles of light are giving us messages and codes, like the astrology is really the messages that we're getting through angles of light at whatever degrees that these celestial bodies are moving around the sun, are hitting at certain angles and degrees of light. The degrees are angles of light, right? So, and I say that so we understand when we get these codes, we understand that when we get these messages, it's really angles of light that you're receiving because of what you put out. There's something that you are aligned with, and so you attract this message to reflect back to you, and therefore you see these messages that you are originally offsetting and putting out. And so that's how the angles of light return the messages back to you or confirm the messages for you. So your guides or your angels, as you may see, is really coming off of you, your angles of light, your degrees that you have in your intuition, the third eye, intuition. Ashe. Let me see if there are any question. I think I had a question there. Can you explain the galactic new year relative to the Sirius star system? Yes, I can. Let me make sure I check here. Could you tell me about Capricorn rising in Vedic? Not in Vedic, because I'm not going to lie, I'm not aligned with the Vedic astrology. I've heard of it. I don't disagree with it. I just haven't really been exposed to that part of it yet. So I can't speak on it as if I know it like that. It doesn't resonate with me like that. So I wouldn't be able to share with you what Capricorn means in Vedic. I'm in appreciation of your clarity on the calendar. Ashe, thank you. Ra, is that Ra light? You got the Ra light. Ashe. All right, so I'm going to explain the galactic new year. I've been seeing 333 and 444. 333 like crazy. 333, which is really a 9, y'all. Notice that 3 threes are 9. So 333, any 333 or 666 or 999 is always going to equal a 9. So that's something in and of itself. But 3 threes are the trinity of the creative completion. So there's a creative completion that you're seeing, that, and that's a main dimensional portal, right? 369, those are main dimensional portals in all of the dimensions of 1 through 9. Through the infinite 9, those are main dimensional portals. So you're seeing the first dimensional portal, which is a 3, to its trinified degree. Is that a word, spirit? Like, that's just how it came out. It's a word for spirit. To its trinified degree. That's what you're seeing. It's magnified like that. And the 444 is a trinity of foundational balance. So you, the Otto, who is seeing the 333 and the 444, is you are getting the messages of the creative completion that is coming through for you, as well as the next level of the foundational balance. So you're also ready to build upon this creative completion. It is time to build, and you are probably one of the 144 that's being called into the building, into the next timeline and building the light colonies. It's time for a change. So this message for you is change. Today is a 5-5 portal by the 5D calendar, and that message is a change, right? Okay, so I'm going to go more into the calendar. Let me just make sure I caught up with some of what you all was saying. Oh, it's Ray, not Ra. Okay, I just saw the capital R and automatically thought Ra. I'm just ready to see Ra, but it's Ray, R-E. Is there any significance to your Ray, if you don't mind sharing, to your R-E? If you could. Greetings, greetings. The royal family is here. Shared, encourage more. Okay. I've been feeling a change. Yes. Because that's the change that you're in. And when I jumped on this line right now, I literally jumped on at 858, and that was intentional because I woke up knowing the 5. I'm like, all right, 5. It's a 5-5 portal. 5-5 portal. And then the first number code that I got, I believe, was 656. And I saw that there was a change within the receptive completion, because we had been in the receptive completion throughout the summer. We had been getting a lot of messages of receptive completion and being in that receptive mode, receptivity, the receptive activity to receive all of these light codes we've been getting from the Sirius gateway leading up to the 444, Barbolt's basket, a very rare composite that doesn't happen all the time. They had foretold of this ahead of time, and now we just had the 4 planets at 4 degrees, not once but twice, right? But it was really significant. The second one was really significant. So there's been a lot of receptive activity. So I saw that there's change in that. And then I said, I'm going to go out. I was probably going to speak to you all at either the 757 or the 858. And so I came out on the 858, which was even more, it was like, wow, a change within the 8. The 8-8 Lionsgate and the 8-8 portal. We just had the 8-8 portal yesterday because it was a 2626 portal. So by the third dimension, by 3D's calendar, it was the 26 portal. 2 and 6 is 8. So it was also 8 8. It had a theme of 8 8. It had a theme of infinite existence. So there's a change to be had. And this opens up the halls of Amenti, which is really what the 8 8 Lionsgate is about. It's not just about what people think. It just so happens that it falls in a number pattern on the 8 8, which is the peak of the halls of Amenti. The entire 8 8 Lions Gateway, which is really the halls of Amenti, is from the end of July to August 12th, right? So it could either be from the 26th to August 12th, or some say the 29th to August 12th. And right now, what I'm seeing for this particular time, if we're looking at the 858, it could very well have started from yesterday, being the 8 8 portal. 858 is saying there's change from this 8 to the 8 8 Lionsgate, right? And we can also look at it as being from the 29th is the full moon, and the 12th is a new moon. So from moon to moon, this particular halls of Amenti, 8 8 Lions Gateway, or a vortex, is going from moon to moon. Okay, so yes, let me talk to you about the Sirius Gateway. So let me like kind of pedal back, because I did see that question. So the 8 8 Lionsgate, right, is not the 8 8 Sirius, the Sirius. Hold on one second. Let me see what because I did see another question there. When you said something about completion, I checked the time and added it up, and it went back to 9. Yep. And today is a 2-7. So you're seeing, so the 9 is speaking to you. There is a spiritual completion that you are having. For you to catch those coordinates, I always pay attention to the coordinates that you catch. And thank you for bringing it to us, because that means we all bear witness to it with you. So yes, it's 9 is that spiritual completion, and today is the 27. So if you look at just the day, it's a 2 and a 7. That's a 9, right? When you add the entire date code, the entire date, you get a date code. So if you all hear me say what the date code is, I'm usually talking about adding up the entire date. So meaning if it's a 2-7, we're already in a universal month of 17, because the year is a 10. The 7 is the month, so that's 17. If you add up all the digits in the year, you're going to get a 10. And when you add that month, you're going to get a 17. So with 27, if you have that 17, you add 2, that's 19. 19, and then if you add the 7, it's 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So the entire date code is a 26. Is a 26, which is an 8. It reduces to 8. So if I say what the date code is for today, it would be an 8. Right? So thank you for that share as well. The 9 is definitely a spiritual completion. So you're getting that heart and feather weight pertaining to the scale. Relight. Oh, thank you for that, Ray. Is it pronounced Ray? Ray or Re? Oh, I think you put 2 E's, so it's relight, if I'm saying that correctly. Heart and feather weight pertaining to the scale. Okay, so you are of Ma'at. So which the halls of Amenti does lead us and prepare us to be in order with Ma'at, in divine order with Ma'at. Right? So let me scroll up some more. Okay, got that. So thank you for that share. Let me get to that question of, can you explain the Galactic New Year relative to Sirius star system? So the Sirius star system, can't say I know the whole Sirius star system, but I do know when the Sirius star is aligned with us during the Sirius gateway, that is on July, between July 1st through the 9th is what we recently discovered, the expansion version of it. But usually it's from July 3rd through the 7th is the Sirius gateway, and the 5th, July 5th is in the middle. It's the peak of it. And that's why we get thrown off by July 4th. That's very intentional. July 4th being on the day that it is, that was set by the archons, right? I'm not even going to say that man did it. Men are the ones who designed it, but it is orchestrated by that opposition energy, right? That knows darn well what our important pivotal points are in the ethers and in the universe. So they know how to interject, they know how to distract, they know how to just infiltrate and mess it up for those who are having the potentials. We all have the potential and the possibility to receive these codes. But what they do is they, what's the word? Intercept. There you go. Interception. They intercept our light codes. So that was purposely done. And every 4th of July, people get caught up in that and they lose sight of the light codes that are coming through the Sirius gateway. So during Sirius gateway, that is when Sirius is aligned with the sun, and that information is coming through for us directly through the sun. The sun is in between Earth and Sirius. So imagine those light codes coming straight through, directly through the sun, which is our server that serves us our codes, directly through the sun and then hitting us directly, right? And this is right after this is when the sun is very potent, because this is right after the summer solstice, when the sun is at its, hottest. And I'm not saying hot just because feeling. It's at its hottest, meaning its highest frequencies, like really holding the sunlight on us. That's when the sun is still. Solstice means still. So it's in its most light. That's when there's the longest day, the most light that we're getting. And it's like that for 3 days at a stillness before it starts moving along again. So there's this Sirius star that comes just a little bit after that. A few days after that, we enter into the Sirius gateway, and now it's aligned with that, all that potent sun codes that we had been getting. So there's that Sirius star system working with us in that way. And then depending on where it's moving, now I do believe that's how they align. I don't know the technicality of the Mayans. I wasn't there with them, but there is something to after the Sirius gateway. If you notice, the Galactic New Year is in between the Sirius gateway and the 8-8 Lions Gate. So, and it seems like it's closer to the 8-8 Lions Gate. So it's like a precursor to that Lions Gate. So the Sirius gateway prepares us. It gives us all the light codes we need. This is what I'm seeing, what I'm sensing with the integration that is happening. And this happens every year. So it's sending in all these light codes. And then we are to integrate with those light codes all the way up to a day out of time. So the day out of time, right before the new year, gives us a moment to pause, to just pause and integrate deeply with these light codes, to embody, to get off of the time clock. I don't care if it's 3D or 5D, to get off of to plug out of the clock in this world and just sit and really reset and connect into the earth. So you can really now pause and get everything that's been integrated, not just in us, but in the earth, the cosmic injections that have been coming into the earth. The day out of time gives us a day to reset, to connect, to plug into the earth, and now extract those codes that have been coming into the earth. And then begins the new year. That's the day out of time, Galactic New Year. And that is a precursor to leading us into the halls of Amenti, 8-8 Lions Gate. Does that make sense? Faithfully, I answered that. So let me know if I answered that for you. I'm connected to Bastet, Anubis, and Ra, Ashe. So you are Kemetically inclined, and most likely you are part of the 144 because you're aware of this. So you are part of one of the 144 ascendants. And if you're Kemetically inclined, more likely you're connected to the Sirius star as well, because there's a connection with the Sirius star seeds and Kemet. There was definitely a communication and an integration between the Sirius star and what has helped Kemet be what it is, the great civilization, what it was, because there's this connection to the Sirius star. That's why the pyramids are aligned with that in that way. Those 3 stars that you always see. Not that those 3 stars are Sirius, but there's a connection with Orion's belt, those 3 stars, and Sirius. Because when the Sirius gateway happens, we don't see Orion's belt. It's not in view until the 8-8 Lions Gate, and then you're going to start to see it come up in the east. Check it out for yourself. Y'all don't got to take my word for it. When you go outside, some of you may have been noticing, if any of you follow those stars and you go outside around this time, you'll start to go outside. I don't know if you even notice when it is. I know I would notice it, but I probably didn't know what time it was of the year. But there will be these times. I always look for these stars. And there will be these times when you go out and you're like, where is the 3 stars? Like, this is how you know some of you are really aligned, because you're really looking for the stars. And no matter how hard you look, you don't see them in the sky, because there's a certain time, which is around this time every year after the Sirius Gateway, or at the Sirius Gateway, you're not going to see the 3 stars. They're out of our view at this particular point, depending on where we're rotating according to where we're connected to even the Sirius star and the sun. That has a lot to do with it. And so by the time we, rotate, circle around, by the time where the sun is, where we are, and where Sirius star is, it comes again on the horizon in the east. So by the 8-8 gateway, when you look to the east around 6 o'clock, depending on where you all are located, around 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, maybe between 7 and 8, I'm going to say somewhere between 6 and 8 o'clock, you're going to start to see those 3 stars on the horizon in the east. This happens every year. So there is some alignment with Sirius star, us, the sun, and Orion's belt. And that's why at a particular point, by the 8-8 Lions Gateway, it's going to be directly above. That's when some of you see that picture of the pyramids with the 3 stars above the pyramids in that alignment. That has to do with the Sirius, with the 8-8, gateway, when it aligns right there in the middle of the sky. So some of you may have seen that picture, right? Let me see what some of you are saying here. I'm connected to Rod. Yep, sending love and light. Ashe. Spiritual and physical change in the midst of infinite existence. That's what the 858 was. Because as I said, some of you may have come on recently. So what I'm talking about is that 858. Because today is a 5-5 portal according to the 5D calendar. 5555 portal. So in the 5D calendar, it's a 5-5 portal. Today is the 5th day of the 5th month. And so it resonated when I saw the 858, like, let me go on, because we're in between this 8, and it's the 8-8 Lions Gate. So it's highlighting that there is change. And 5 is spiritual, physical balance. And that is what causes the change. What makes us be able to change is when we have physical, spiritual balance. When there is a harmonizing between the two, then there is change. So 4 is the foundational balance. 5 is when you have physical, spiritual balance that brings about change, that brings the spirit to move in a form of change. Ashe? Let me see what some of you are saying here. I know I missed some of the comments. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the tap, 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 tap. And the heart meets. And so far, oh, there's Chase Divine. Welcome in. Thank you for the heart meet. Chase is here. Chase is here because we are moving through that workshop. What does seeing a lot of synchronicities mean? Like when you said 3D and 5D, my battery is 3.5. Ooh. You seeing the synchronicities. I think Celestine prophecy, when you see that, if anyone's ever heard of the Celestine prophecy, it speaks about synchronicities. If you haven't, I would suggest kind of, taking a look at that book, the Celestine prophecy. And I think it talks about the 9th synchronicity, but it's letting you know that when you see synchronicities are like breadcrumbs. It's like the universe giving you your spiritual breadcrumbs. Here you go. Here you go. And you just follow it. I always say, pick up the breadcrumbs. When I see a synchronicity, pick it up. Meaning take it in and ask, what does this mean to me? Don't just let it be a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence and accidents. It's a synchronicity. So when you feel like, what a coincidence. No, slap that away. This is not a coincidence. This is a synchronicity. What is this synchronicity saying to me? Right? So you're being called. When you saw 3D, You were saying when I said 3D and 5D, so you're being called to look between the 3D and 5D. You're being called to move out of the 3D into the fifth dimension, right? You're probably within the fourth dimension right now. You're probably in between. So 3D and 5D is the dimensions that we're pretty much always oscillating through time. A lot of us are feeling time differently. A lot of people are sleeping differently and wondering what's going on, right? Some people sleeping too much, some people not sleeping at all. And that's because the body is regulating to what it needs to. Some of you are staying up all the time because there's something to get. There's something that the body is saying, I need these codes. I need to be up. Some of you are up in the wee hours of the night because that's when the world is most quiet and that's when the universe can speak to you, right? That's like what they call the bewitching hours, between like 3 to 6 o'clock in the morning. So when you're up in these wee hours and everybody else is down, you're able to get the message. That's when the veil is most thin because the noise in the world is quiet. That thick layer of atmospheric noise, right? And when I say atmospheric, I mean the fifth dimension, representing the throat chakra as the fifth chakra, as the fifth element, which is expression. The atmospheric body is the throat chakra, which is energy that moves through the atmosphere in a current, in a currency that is carried through our energetic fields, from one energetic field to another in the atmosphere. So there's that fifth dimension, which is everything that is atmospheric. What is in the atmosphere? I keep hearing that song in my head. I could feel it in the air. I don't know how to say it on a note that they say it, but that's what I keep hearing. I could feel it in the air. I feel it. Do you feel it? Shay, Divine Rising. Chase was saying Divine Rising. So it's all, I saw a perfect cross over the moon a year ago about this time. It was really eye-opening. Ooh, what was that cross? Was it a star? Was it the cross? Like, was it star formations of a cross, or you just literally saw a cross? That is, I'd like to know that. Like, was it a star formation? Okay, Ashe. Let me make sure I caught up. Sent you some. Thank you for all the gifts, the heart meets, the roses. All right, caught up to some of those messages. Let me see if there's any here. Okay, there's another comment here. If the archons are behind malevolent humans, who are behind the benevolent ones? Good question. Our interdimensional beings. Some of you are surrounded by your galactic family right now. I know I am. I got my galactic ones all around me. Like, I know I am. And when I got a reading, couple years ago, maybe about 3-4 years ago. Was it 3 years? About 3 years ago. And the first thing the person said, this was a person that really does like ancestral readings. So, you know, you're expecting to hear from an ancestor, and they couldn't. They was like, you're surrounded by galactic beings. I could tell by the way she said it that she's not used to seeing that like this, because she paused. And it's like, she was like, you, like, all that was coming through was galactic beings. She said, you're surrounded by galactic beings. Like, you have a lot. She's like, I can't even see an ancestor. You have a lot of galactic family around you. So some of us are surrounded by these galactic beings, and I call them my co-missioners. Like, my spirit team, we co-missioned here. So when I decided to come here as a star seed, apparently I came with a team. You know, some of us come with a team. I'm not just saying it like it's me. Some of us, most star seeds that have come here, you've come, especially if you have a certain strict spiritual mission, and you need to make sure you stay on that mission, because they know when you come to this earth plane, they know what can take set, and you can completely get lost in the sea of forgetfulness behind the veils of amnesia. So some of us, in order for us to stay on our transmission in time that we have set off to do, that we've signed up and answered the call and said, I'll go to Earth, big dummy, but I'll go. Um, a lot of us come with a galactic team, a starseed team that is surrounding us, as well as we have come in groups on this plane, and our starseed group members are out there. Some of you here that come across my timeline are a part of my starseed group. Like, we've come here together to come together at a certain time after we've come through certain things. When we have spiritually matured and gotten to that point, it's almost like we have it in our contracts where it's like, all right, when we get here, then we're going to cross each other's timeline and then continue the works that we're supposed to do. Some of us are gathered in that way, and that's very much of what's happening right now. I'm not even gonna act like that's not what's happening right now, right? Let me see, psycho chumps and what they really do. Do you do YK or year? What is YK about psycho chumps and what they really are? What are I'm saying psycho chumps, psycho pumps. What are psycho pumps? If you can explain that to me, Otto, because I've never heard that word before, and you gonna have me using that word in a whole nother way. I'm about to start calling people psycho pumps. So please tell me, because I could already feel it in energy, like I want to use it, like, you psycho pump. So could you please tell me what a psycho pump is? Hold on. Royal laughing at you know I'm already that person. I'm ready to use that word. I'm ready to call somebody a psycho pump. And we don't need a book of man-made morals to operate here either. Ashe, we don't. The book of life is within. The book of life is within you. All the Bible is basic instructions before leaving earth. And emphasis on the first acronym word, basic. The Bible is basic. It may be very deep for some people, and that's because they're at a kindergarten level in the spiritual realm. That's just what it is. They're at a very beginning level. Nothing wrong with kindergarten. Everybody got to start somewhere. But for those who are ascending souls, you have to be ascending beyond that basic book. It's time to get out of kindergarten, and it's time to get into the book of life within. Get into the universe city, the city of the universe. Get into the university of your soul. That's what we are to be tapping into if we're unfolding. You don't stay stuck there. Some of us come through there. We go through kindergarten. Let the Bible be that kindergarten, that basic book. And for those who understand esoterics, the Bible is, very heavily encoded. And then you realize how basic it really is. The Bible is like a fairy tale story. It's just like how we read fairy tales, and the fairy tale has some very deep, profound meanings in it, some very deep lessons in it. But when you're just looking at it surface level or reading it surface level, it's a fable. It's allegories. It's a story. It's a mythical story that's put together for you to understand something more complex. That's how you look at the Bible. It's like a children's, fable story. It has truth in there. Don't look for it to be literal. Just like when we listen to Snow White, we don't literally believe that there's a person talking through the mirror. But metaphysically, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. And there is a mirror that talks to you. That's called the mirror of life. Because life is a reflection of you. Everything that is happening to you is a reflection. That is the talking mirror. But we don't literally believe that there is a talking mirror. And that's how we have to look at the Bible. When they give you a story, oh, Adam and Eve did this and that. Okay, they didn't literally do that. Is there an esoteric meaning behind that? Yes. Do you get the meaning? Did you extract the meaning out of it? Or did you stay stuck on the fable and the story and treating the fable and the story as if it's gold, as if it's platinum, right? Somebody said, yep, true. It's called Hebrew poetry. That part, it's just written literature to help you understand what is complex, right? And it's like that with other mythical stories, because some people leave religion and let's say they jump into Kemet. And this is what I went over yesterday with, or I think the day before, with Asar, Arset, and Heru. And they jump into these comedic stories, and then they're like, oh, this is what it really is. Again, you're reading an exoteric story that has an esoteric meaning. It's a story to help you understand the complexities of divinity. It's as simple as that, right? So, do you believe in God? Boy, those questions, right? I always feel when those questions come, it's definitely coming from a type of religionist or somebody that's holding on to the way they want to believe into God. I'm not saying that's you, but that's what I feel whenever those questions come up. It's like they want to know because they holding on to God. So they're like, do you believe in God? Like, not the way that you think. Just like I'm talking about these stories, I can read the Bible. It's a fable that has deeper meanings. I understand the esoteric knowledge. Also, in God, there's an esoteric meaning. Do I believe in one man in the sky looking at me? No. Do I believe in one man that just made me specifically? Like, this may be harsh for some to hear, but God don't deal directly with you. And I'm saying it to you just as it hit me, because when it hit me at that particular time, I was like, oh, what do you mean? It's like you're trying to tell me God don't love me. Get over yourself. God doesn't deal directly with you. You deal directly with you. The God in you deals directly with you. The great order of divinity. God is an order. G-O-D, great order of divinity. I give it an acronym. So if you're asking me about God, of course, I do believe and know of the great order of divinity. And I have a true relationship with this great order of divinity because I walk in divine order. I follow the principles of divinity and walk with that, not principles and stories and of what mankind wants to give me. Their regurgitated version of what they think a God is. And I'm supposed to appropriate that. No ma'am, no spam, no ham. So when you elevate, when you get into the university of the divine, the university of divinity, then you know the all totalness of essence and God as source that just is. And out of the isness comes everything else. God is creation. Creation creates more. Creation recreates and recreates just like we do here on earth. We are a part of creation and we continue to recreate. The universe continues to expand and unfold and recreate out of the isness of God that simply is. God is not a person directly dealing with you, a person. It is ultimate source. And you are a drop in the bucket in the sea of cosmic consciousness that is God. Faithfully, I've said something there. I know I said something. Faithfully, it has dropped upon you somewhere. That's what I should say. I know what I'm saying. All right, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Cool, we're there with me. Yes, the God in you deals with you, Ashe. I just said that this morning. There you go. It's you. You are the divine. If they say the kingdom of God is within you, then that's you, boo. You the kingdom and the queendom. Ashe. Amanda, thank you, Ashe. It takes one to know one. So you are knowledgeable, you are informative, and all we're doing right now is bringing in the wisdom and understanding into this cipher of knowledge, right? The cipher, and we were just talking about this last night, y'all. So y'all know when Erykah Badu says the cipher keeps spinning like a rolling stone. I don't know how many of y'all know what that cipher is, but the cipher is 100. The cipher is, first of all, the 360 degrees that keeps moving and spinning. 360 degrees. That's why she said, with $3.06, 360 degrees. The cipher is 120 degrees of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Go ahead and you do the math and let me know. When you get it, drop the number in there. Let me see who did the math. Let me see who did the math. 100 degrees of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Drop your math. Let me see who did it. I'm not even going to tell you it. Let me see what you got. I want to see who Who was clicking? Who brain went, oh, 100 and degrees. It's a triune. It's a triunity. Y'all ever heard them say a trine? Y'all know that's what the trine is. When they say two planets are trined, that means that the planets are at 120 degrees of light. That information that comes through there is 120 degrees. Ashe? Let me see what someone else was saying here. I'm going to get back to, let me read YouTube, and then I'll get back to TikTok, because they got me doing this puzzle. You know, when you on here for a while, they be like, drag the puzzle to see if you are still here. So I got to play the puzzle game with TikTok. I'll be right back to y'all questions. Let me see. It's called Hebrew Poetry. Yep. I'm a watcher. I just have to know before I interact. Okay, Ashe, Ashe. I understand that. Checking the waters. You got to check what you into. But pretty sure, as you've heard, you see where I'm at. Divine God that cannot be fully explained. Ashe. If you don't believe the scripture, I'm not allowed to rebuke. Oh, okay, that kind. Bible says leave atheists alone. They so quick to call you an atheist. Or non-Bible believers. I'm just out loving my neighbor. Yep, you can, blessings and light to you. You can stand under that covering, right? These are the ones that are falling in the collapsing timelines, and they don't even realize it. And we not gonna make them no wiser, just like they said. You know, oh, I'm not allowed to talk to a non-believer, where they shouldn't be talking to themselves. Because they don't believe in divinity. They believe in a false matrix that was displayed for them. We have detected inactivity during your thing. So they're going to end my live. Just letting y'all know, if y'all could still hear me on TikTok, they're going to end the live. The only thing I could do is open it back up. All right, so this how they do. They don't like when you come through like this. This be the real talk that they don't like. So we'll see what they say. Drag, okay, they giving me, I guess they giving me another chance. Drag the puzzle over and fit it in so I can know it's you. Okay, they gave me a check now, y'all. I'm hearing you, sister. All right, Haran. Haran, you know what time it is. Jesus, the Jew, is not a god. Stop your nonsense, misinformation, and gibberish. Get a real job. Ashe. I don't know if that was to me or to Light, but if you were answering to me, because I know I didn't say nothing about Jesus being a Jew and a God, so that must not be to me. You're being an atheist, and somewhere in your subconscious, okay, yep, and that's what I said. If that's you being an atheist, right? Oh, I need a charge because one of these are gonna go down. So if I can get a charge, let me see if one of my little helpers could bring me a plug so I could plug it in before I lose y'all on TikTok. So as a reminder, while y'all here, let me see, what does it say? Clay, do you believe in the Bible and God? Which Bible? King James. They want to talk to you. They want to talk to you about the Bible. Get your Bible on. I knew that. I just wanted to see if you knew that. Apparently, I had to charge out here all the time. Some of us don't know that. Some of us don't know we be walking with the charge. We got the charge with us all the time. Sitting on it with my behind. I don't worship the sun god. Then you don't worship a god. I read 66 all through some of the removed books. Good luck with you and the regurgitated version of information. Hold on one second. I'm going to put you all so I can plug this up. Let me lean this up right here. Let me lean y'all up right there. Ooh, I like that version. While I get this plugged up. Plug it in, plug it in. Okay, there we go. All right, truth. Let me see what else you were saying. What was the acronym for God again? I'm taking notes. Oh, the acronym for God is Great Order of Divinity. Great Order of Divinity. Which, if you count the of, right? If you count the of in it, that's 2 O's. It's actually good. And what they say, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. So, great order of divinity is good all the time. And all the time, great order of divinity is good, and God is the great order of divinity is good. Right? Either way, vice versa. It can be God or good. Great order of divinity. Ashe. Great order of God, great order of divinity, I meant. Okay, good. Thank you, Otto, for helping. I appreciate that. I need some moderators. So if anybody is willing to help moderate, um, okay, you know what? I'm going to say that. Spirit kind of put that on me this morning. I am doing the workshop. It is 144. Gets you through the door to do the workshop. It's an impromptu workshop with the full moon. I usually do it quarterly. The next one is not due until September. However, I opened this up, or let me say, Chase Divine here. Y'all send some hearts up for Chase Divine. She heard the call and she opened up and was like, I'm ready right now. I got my 144. I'm sowing my seeds into my 144 ascension for me, right? For you, right? It's not just for me, but it's also to open up with reciprocity and due respect for all that I do to have this information for you. So I say that to say this, for those of you who are here now, maybe it's your first time, maybe it's for a reason, maybe we're supposed to be, you're called into alignment. As I said, the star seeds are coming together. How I could be helped is if you're willing to be a moderator, that will be a service, and you can tithe with that service. So if you don't have the 144, I will open that avenue for you to join the workshop. We just started it yesterday. It's a 7-day workshop. We're working with all 7 chakras, transmuting to help clear up the densities to prepare us as we walk through the halls of Amenti, as we enter into the 8-8 Lions Gate, to really prepare us for this next level of light codes that we're getting right now. And this is a serious ascension time. No pun intended. For the serious star seeds, it's some serious times. So Spirit is putting it on my heart to say it right now, because it had been a thought that came up as I was waking. So that it was like, you need a moderator as you're on here. So I do need people that can help with the technical part of especially TikTok. And so if you can, message me, email me if this is something that aligns for you and you want more, because you can ask Chase if she's still in here. You can ask anybody else who's in here. They can vouch and tell you you're gonna get a lot in the workshop. There's a lot of information that we're unlocking, that we're covering, not just about the chakras, but whatever messages Spirit kind of brings up and bestows upon me at that time, in that moment. Like fresh downloads will come through while I'm in the shop, while I'm in the workshop. So if this is something for you, if you align, if you've been seeing the light codes, you've been seeing the 444, the 144 has been calling for you. We had an ascension transmission last night. Ooh, look, and I'm seeing the 55. We had an activation transmission last night. If you didn't catch that one, I'm gonna do another one on the 8-8 Lionsgate portal. So I'll do another one that's gonna kind of be as we are coming out of this halls of Amenti, and as we have actually done the work to release some more densities. That's why this full moon is very important right now, before the 8-8 Lionsgate. And that's why Spirit was putting it on me to do it, but only if those show up, those who show up with the 144. So if you're willing to be a moderator or something like that, that is something to attest to or look into. So letting that be known. And I'm still listening with my spiritual ears. So I'm also listening for instruction, because Spirit really wants to be, strict with the 144, specifically for me, because I haven't been. So it's like the 144, once they put in the 144, you go ahead and you share with that. Maybe there's something else in it for that I can give in being a moderator. Maybe you don't need that. Maybe it's a reading. All right, so just kind of be prepared. I'm still listening for Spirit with that. I do need a moderator. So if it's not to enter into the workshop, it could be a moderator to have a reading, a natal chart reading, a chakra reading, or a spiritual one-on-one reading, just to kind of help guide you more into the 5th dimension, right? To just kind of assimilate what's happening and see where you are in the 5D timeline, right? Because I am a 5D pioneer that I've been doing since 2022. So that may be something there as well that's there for you, Ashe. So let me see what else is there. I don't 2 or 3 with. Why believe errors? Oh, okay. Okay, well, welcome to our world, Light. Nobody listens to us because most of the world is hiding behind a false matrix. Again, why did... Okay, I see. Okay, so you all were talking. So y'all got her. Y'all got her. I see that. Y'all go ahead. Y'all got her. Let y'all respond to her because she need to just go outside and talk. I don't like to tell people what they need to do, but go outside and talk to the sun. Argue and debate your theories and your false matrixness with the sun, because the sun is the one that's giving the instructions right now from the great order of divinity, all 360 degrees of it, right? No, we're talking 144 is not a number of people, it's a frequency. It is a frequency, and that's why I'm saying to you all the 144 ascendants, not a number of people that are the 144. The 144,000 are the ascendants that align to the 144 frequency, which is a frequency of completion. It's another 9, right? So I believe it was Otto that said she saw the 9, the 27. Another 9 is in the 144. 4 and 4 plus 1 is 9. So there's a completion by the 9, a spiritual completion. And not only that, 12 is a cyclical completion. 12 times 12 is 144. So another way of understanding of 144 is saying it's a completion times completion. It is a cyclical completion times a cyclical completion. So that is an ultimate degrees of frequency, higher frequencies that are ready for the ascension. When you hit those frequencies, you ascend. Ashe? I never knew that was the lyric. Oh, which lyric? Oh, you're talking about what I was saying with Erykah Badu, right? Oh, on and on and on and on. Love keeps turning like a rolling stone. Cypher keeps turning like a rolling stone. Yep. Some of us don't hear it, but when you really hear it, that's what she's saying. The cipher keeps turning like a rolling stone. Psycho Chump is oh, I keep saying chump. Psycho Pump is a deity or spirit that guides souls to the afterlife. Do you know more about this? Ooh, now I'm going to know. I'm going to go to my book of life within. I might know of it as another name. I might have never heard it called. I've never heard of Psycho Pump, but I might know of that. So I'm going to look into it and see what it is. It might resonate with me as another name or another explanation, because usually I'm very much aware of the afterlife. I have a very close connection with, I guess you could say, the afterlife. I'm very understanding of the ancestral realm. That's why I just did an ancestral passage retreat recently in Jamaica. For those who attended, they got a lot of information out of it, a lot of experience in helping us to unlock the codes into the ancestral realm, which is really just the answers in your bloodline. The ancestors in your bloodline, and the ancestors in time are the answers in your bloodline. So that afterlife has to do with that. So the deity or spirit that guides souls is also another part of us, another part of our connection that guides us into another realm, right? All of these deities that they talk about are, how do I say it? They're like energy archetypes, right? So a lot of people hear these and they think, oh, you believe in these many gods. No, it's when you have an understanding to an understanding. When you understand, overstand, to understand the deities, right? When you understand them as archetypal energy, then you can understand the conversation of the information that is being translated to you and through you through these archetypal energies. They mean something to specific cultures because the way the universe speaks to us is through our interpretation levels. And this is why different cultures have different names, because what it means to you gives it the potency. So if I come from a culture of, let's say, the African culture, and I talk about Oshun is that goddess of beauty, and they understand Oshun to be that energy of beauty. It's an archetypal energy. To the Greeks, they're going to call it Venus or Aphrodite, right? It means more to them. Oshun will not resonate to them at all. It means more to them as Aphrodite. So the messages that they get are going to come in the forms of Venus and Aphrodite. When messages come to those who are more Africanly inclined, to the African Orishas, Ifa and Orishas, then the energies are going to come, messages are going to come to you through Oshun and things like that. It doesn't mean that the other messages are wrong. That's their interpretation. Just like in South America, they have their own God of the ocean, God of the sky, God of the sea. All it's saying is it's energy. It's energy in motion. And the great order of divinity, which is God, is all of this. This is why God is everywhere. This is the omnipresence of the great order of divinity, the omnipresence of God, right? And so this is why they say God is equally present everywhere, every single place, every single thing God is present in, the great order of divinity, not a person, the source, God. And so it could be in South America, it could be in in some indigenous tribe in Australia. They all have the indigenous tribes that were in the Americas before it became America. All of these are true. And if you know how to read energy without being tied to a specific label, this is why some of us are divergents. This is why some of us can move between any culture. We can get information in any way. Some of us are like spiritual chameleons. So information can come in this way, but know that most of your information is going to come through your strongest interpretations, if that makes sense. Ashe? Let me see. And I just saw 515, and for some reason that caught my eye, and I know that's coming from the Jesus People's Crew, but we can get listen, you can get messages from a drunk. I don't cast nothing aside. Just because they're lost in their sauce, I don't cast nothing aside. The angels of light will use them too, without them even knowing that they're connecting to this particular light source in a particular way. Thank you, because you're sending something as well. Even though egoically they want to infiltrate and put in what they want, and they're holding on with a tight grip to what they want, they're also being used, right, to share the light. So what I saw was 515, right, which I guess they're talking about a Bible reference. And remember, the number for today is 5. We are in the 5-5 portal according to the 5D calendar. Let me remind us, this is why I'm really here today, to keep us remembering that on the 5D timeline, we're at a 5D 5-5 portal. So that 515 is giving a code of new beginnings within change. So that message is for all of us. There's new beginnings within change. And that message is for even that person that's given that information, that you're sitting here, you got called to this timeline for a reason. This is your chance. This is your opportunity to get what you need. You're not doing anybody a favor here, but you can do yourself a favor by saying this is a time for change. Like I'm hearing Michael Jackson's song, it's time to make a change. That's the change. And there's a new beginning for you in the midst. 515 that you gave out, that's for you. There's a new beginning for you in the midst of change. If you are willing to change your mind, if you are willing to repent means to rethink. So if I use your language with you, repent means to rethink. It's not what they teach you in the regurgitated Bible version world, where they think that you're supposed to come and repent by telling something to a pastor or a preacher. Or no, repent means to rethink. Look up the etymology of that word rather than just listening to someone who gave you the meaning of that word through their interpretation, through their dogmatic, regurgitated interpretations. Repent is to rethink. So you are being given the opportunity. Look at what is coming from you. You are being given the opportunity to have a new beginning in the midst of change. You came up here on this timeline. So there must be something in you that is stirring. Your ancestors or your guides or your angels, whatever you want to call it, probably led you here so that you can be stirred, so that you can hear and on the 5-5 portal. And it's telling you to listen. Humble yourself. Humble your ego. Humble the ego that feels like it wants to hold on to misappropriated information. That's egoic. And you're puffed up in pride about it. So I'm just giving you the message as it's coming. I don't even usually waste time with the Jesus peoples like that. But I'm giving it to you as it's coming. And consider this your last opportunity. That's why you were guided here. Your last opportunity during this high ascension time for you to catch the right energetic wave and make an about face 180 degrees change. Maybe you need to make a 360 degree change, but first you need to about face. And I don't practice telling people what they need to do, but that's what I'm sensing. There's an about face for you. So there's something that you need to go 180 degrees in about face. Maybe you need to check your natal chart and realize that I'm pretty sure if you probably check your natal chart, your south node is probably in Leo and your north node is probably in Aquarius, or vice versa. But I'm feeling like it might be in Leo and then Aquarius, because that's 180 degrees. And it's time for you to make a 180 degree walk away from Leo, from the misappropriation shadows of Leo, where you're puffed up in pride, arrogant in your what you think to be true, in your misconstrued beliefs. It's time to walk away from those shadows 180 degrees into Aquarius, into the ever-living waters, the water bearer, into a true collective, because Aquarius is the we. So into a true, I'm just giving you the message as it comes. You could take it or leave it, but you're here for a reason and you haven't left yet. So unless you're a bot, you're being called to this particular timeline and you're wasting your time opportunity being in the shadows of Leo. And you could take it or leave it. But I guarantee you, if you go pull up your natal chart, because I know y'all like to say, we don't believe in the astrology, and that's the stars, that's the heavens. Up there, when you go through there, y'all like to point to heavens up there. Well, when you keep going up there, it's the stars. And it's the stars that's guiding you to who you are. So 515, be unto you, Ashe, Ashe, and let it be true. New beginnings within the midst of change. Will you repent? And that's your altar call. And I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. You do what you want to do with that. And then look, I just went and saw that they said, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof. You got to be careful. I didn't even see that before I said what I said. What I was saying, that was just spirit guiding that through for you. And then when I looked down, you of your own lips said, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened. This is what they're saying. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth. That means your ego. The sun is your ego. It's going to be darkened. And the moon shall not cause her light to shine. That means you're going to, the message is for you, ma'am, sir. You're going to lose your light. The message is for you. You're getting that message, and that's for you. You're going to lose your light. This is just as I said, your last opportunity. The sun shall be darkened for you. The moon shall not cause her light to shine. You're going to not be able to see the luminosity of the divine because it shines through the luminosities, the luminaries, which is the sun and the moon. Right? So that's for you. I can't make this stuff up. Y'all, that person, if they want to stay stuck on, they must be a bot. If they want to stay stuck on I don't know what to call it. I compassion for the collective. Because it want to roll out my mouth. I want to say, if they want to be stuck on stupid, if they want to be stuck on dumb, if they want to be lost farts in the blizzard, that's on them. But you didn't come to this timeline for nothing. And instead of you getting it, you're being pumped up, pompous and puffed up in pride. And you are going to lose. That sun and that moon will not shine upon you. That's for you, boo. Go 515 and repent. Anyhow, let me go back. Let me get back to, because them bots be on YouTube like, whoa. Right? Let me see what some of you are saying. I'm going to look up Psycho Pump, though, Otto. Thank you for that. Yes, I had to give it to them. I had to, because you coming on here and then I see it. I see a soul that is in the midst of a turnover, but they can't see it. Y'all ever see some souls like that? Like you're on the brink and you don't even see it. There's a turnover happening for you and you're in the midst of it right now and you're wasting your opportunity, being puffed up in pride. They have been taught to categorize and separate when everything is relative. Yes, Ashe. Wow, we are engaging. Yep, 999. Thank you for that. Great order of divinity. They better get it. Yes, do you? I just about. Okay. That was the answer to that. Hold on. The workshop is a game changer. If you're serious about your ascension, yes. Thank you for letting them know that. For those of you, if you're serious about your ascension, the workshop is definitely a game changer. And I'm not trying to sell nobody nothing. Because like I said, to be honest, I really didn't even want to do it. I was fighting with spirit. Like, the next one is not due until September. Do I really got to do this right now? But it was emphasizing the ascension timeline that we're on and the importance of the shift and to be available for those true and ready and willing light bodies, the true ones that are ready to move forward. And if they're really ready, they'll put their energy where their mouth is, which means they'll put their money where their mouth is. Because it's going to take time and energy for me to do what I got to do. So there needs to be some reciprocity. And it's also pulling me out of what I need to be strong in as well. Because I'm a giver. And I would just give and give. And spirit is like, nah, stop. This ascension timeline is for me too. And it's like, stop. You're not bending those boundaries anymore. Right now, you've done enough. Let them put their energy where their mouth is. And there has to be some reciprocity due onto you. Knowing darn well that is worth way more than that. As somebody said, $5,000. Thank you, Austin. And all I said is 144. You have these fake spiritual people out here that's charging people 500, 1,000, 1,500. That's how you know they fake. Because why do it gotta cost so much? Why? Ashe? It's why we got to use our discernment. Why it got to cost so much? Me doing 144, that's a major cutback from what it's really worth. And it even hurt me to ask for that. That's to show you where my heart is. It's like, but spirit is like, but you got to. You got to. Not because you need money, but you got to, because there's a law of reciprocity at hand. And this is how it shows up within humanity. So you have to make that demand. Energy is in me. Yep, the energy is in me, and that's that energy. Energy. My time, 10:15. What? It passed 10:15. I missed that a few minutes ago. Yes, message. Inner God 555. Yep. What does 115 mean? I just saw it again while scrolling. You getting hit with all the numbers. Pick up your breadcrumbs, pick up your synchronicities, because you getting hit with all the numbers. Usually I look at numbers that are back to back, or a number that has two numbers that are the same on the end. But if I look at 115, I probably wouldn't look at it at 115. I would see 11. You know how we see 11, 11? I see 11 and 5. So I see that enlightenment, because 11 usually means that enlightenment. And that enlightenment, like 11, 11 is like a master number, master enlightenment. 11 is master enlightenment. So when we see that 11, 11, it's like enlightenment, confirmation that there's going to be some major changes, even because when you are becoming enlightened, there's a certain destruction that you go through. You have to destroy old beliefs to become enlightened into something new. So a lot of time people think enlightenment is like, the gods open up, the skies open up for you, and you're just so enlightened. Enlightenment comes when you destroy falsities, when you destroy misappropriations, misconcepts, when you destroy things that no longer serve you, when you allow that deconstruction to happen, then you become enlightened. And that often is a change. So that's what I'm seeing in your number. I'm seeing 11.5. Enlightenment, change. And you saw it as a 1 and a 15. And so that 1 is a new beginning. And the 15 depends on how you look at 15. You would have to look up, I forget what 15 means. The actual 15 means something. So you can look that up, or you can look at it as 5 and 1 is 6, and 6 is reciprocity. So there's a new beginning that is also bringing forth reciprocity through the numbers 1 and 5, which means the reciprocity is coming through a new beginning and change. Right? So it depends on how you read it. Either way, all of this is saying change. Again, today's portal is a 5-5 portal, change. Right? The demon has no power, least you give it. That's right. Ashe, ashe. I hope you remember. They came on top about, I came to love you. Just remember what I said. I hope you remember what I said. Because Spirit was speaking to you. That wasn't of me. That was a message for you. Because of me and my own personal might, I don't care to answer you all. When the Jesus people come in here, anybody that's been here, y'all know I'm quick to, I'd rather tell you to talk to the sun. I don't really want to have a conversation with you. It's a waste of time. It's like beating a dead horse. But Spirit came through because you kept being, what you were doing in Spirit is like, no, you are here for change. If you're still here, you're here for change. Remember what was said to you. Remember that. I am a reflection. I am the mirror that is reflecting this to you. Right? Even the 3 wise men had to have knowledge of the stars. Exactly, Ashe. The 3 wise men had to know the stars. So you better know the stars in order to know who you are. That's how they knew Yeshua was coming, because he came to bring in the Piscean age. They knew about the ages. The sages knew about the ages. So they foretold that this was going to be a new age, and that the light bearer, the light bringer, is going to be bringing in this age, the light, the Christ consciousness. He's going to bring that to awareness, because the Christ consciousness was always here. That's why it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with da-da-da-da-da. That's why it begins, because it's letting you know that Christ consciousness was already here. The Word was already here, flowing through the atmosphere. And so Yeshua came to bring in the Piscean age. And they had to look through the stars to know that a new age was coming, just like a lot of us were aware that we are entering into the Aquarian age. A new age is coming. And that's what Yeshua meant when he said another one will come, the Comforter. That is the Aquarian age, the water bearer. The knowledge is going to comfort you. The age of the knowing is going to comfort you. See, it's all up in their book, but they can't see it because they don't look. What? Let me say it again. It's all up in their book, but they can't see it because they don't look. And I'm not just talking about that book that they read. I'm talking about some of us don't read the book of life. Some of us don't go within and get the information for yourself. A lot of you are out here trying to find all the information on the outside, and it's all inside of you. I'm not saying you can't reference outside information. I do. This tool, this book, this calendar is a tool of reference. There's certain things that I read as reference, but I don't rely on external knowledge. External knowledge is confirmation, affirmations, and reference for my information that is already within. So how do you get it? How do you unlock it? Things like the workshop. The more I did my workshops, this is before it became a workshop, when I was just doing, the more I did it is the more things unfolded for me, the more information that I got. By the time I went to go and do my Reiki mastership, I wasn't even trying to be a Reiki master. I'm a Reiki master now, but I just went to do Reiki 1 just to see more of what this energy that has been calling me is about, and ended up becoming a Reiki master. But before that, the whole year before, I had already been doing the workshop. And every time I did it, it unfolded. It's like a lotus flower. Another layer just keeps opening and opening. And the more I did it, the more I unlocked codes within my own consciousness, my own soul. Our soul has many dormant codes. That's that junk DNA that they tell y'all is junk. It's not junk. It's untapped God encryption in your DNA. The dormant codes, the Akashic records that are connected through there. Metatron's cube, which is the information, right? Metatron's cube is our Earth information grid. Basically the light grid that supplies all information through what? Light. Right? All light. See, and the wind just picked up. I ain't lying. This is information right here. And I kid y'all not, I feel as hot as it is outside because it's hot. I stick my hand out like this and I could already feel the sun like beating my hand. It is hot. But where I am, it's been constant breeze. I don't know if y'all start to pay attention. If y'all true ones, I'm going to share this with y'all. Start to pay attention to this, right? Thank you so much. Tick-tick-a-tock. Thank you. Escobar 7777 sent the universe. Thank you, Ashe. Check this and see for yourself. When you are engaging in the energies like this, because you have an energetic field with you, and as I said, the atmospheric body carries information, right? How y'all think y'all got the internet? It's invisible information, right? Put everything in the clouds, invisible information. It's so it is with divinity. And it was always like this with divinity, because everything that we create that's man-made mimics the God gene, mimics divinity. So this is already happening. And so what I'm saying to you all, to check it out for yourself, whenever you all start having these type of conversations that I'm having with you all, you open up. It's almost like you open a portal, and it's like you open a vent, if that makes sense. In the energetic field, you open a vent, and then the wind begins to come through. So imagine like if you have the AC in your home and the vents are closed, right? When you open the vent, you feel the air. So essentially that's what's happening right now as I'm sharing this information with you, as we are collectively, whoever's reciprocating back, what's happening is I'm opening the vents around me, and the information in the wind, the wisdom in the wind starts to come through. I can't make this up. It's not just light currency information. It's not just light code. It's wind codes. That's the atmospheric body. That is what represents the fifth dimension that a lot of people are still not somehow understanding the other aspect of it. It's the information field that is traveling through the atmosphere, and that's why people can't hide no more. It's always been like this, but the awareness level of the fifth dimension has risen. More and more of us are tapped in to that level, so it has become more present. It has come through the creative completion, the receptive completion, and the spiritual completion, which is to say, it has come through the 369. And so because it has come through the 369, it is coming through. So some of you, right? Thank you, Riki Rising 2279. That's my year, 79. Right? You're welcome. You're welcome. Ashe. Right? And so when you all are having this conversation, start to notice that. It could be hot. Y'all test it out for yourself. If it's hot, go outside, and I dare you. I double dare you to go to in the outside, have one of these really in-depth conversations, like for real, authentically, right? Don't be fake about it. Authentically, have one of these conversations outside and wait and watch and see if you're going to open the vents and you're going to start to feel a certain wind around you. And specifically when you hit I think when there's an agreement, there's certain points where the wind really picks up. So it's when you are speaking this truth and there is an agreement between you and those whom you are speaking to, whether they say they agree or not. If in the energetic realm, in our field of information, if there is an agreement while you are having this conversation, when the agreement intensifies, the wind picks up. When you see the wind, that's how you know there's a strong agreement in the midst of you without even saying it. All right, see, and it just did it again. That means what I said just now, there was agreement. There was an understanding between some of you here that inside says, Ashe, I get that, right? So I dare you all to try that. It's called circumventing. That's how I see it. So I dare you to go out there and circumvent the atmosphere. Watch and see if you don't call the wind to move around you. This is energy. So this is information. Thank you, Spirit. This brings me back to what I was saying. This is information. All of this electricity, electromagnetic frequencies, all of the flares that are coming from the sun, it's all information. And the information is getting turned up because the earth is at 5D. Therefore, we get fifth density light. Those who can't take the heat gonna have to get the hell out the kitchen. If you have not done your soul work to move your processor up to being a 5D Intel, right? Let me speak a little computer talk to you, and I'm not that technically inclined, but I understand this. I knew that they changed all of our modems when they started using 5G because they were saying your modem is not 5G compatible. It can't handle it. It's going to cause it to move slow. It's going to cause it to burn out. So they came into our houses and changed our modems. So common sense says if you're a 3D soul, if you have not evolved to at least a fourth dimensional, 5-dimensional soul, holistically in your soul, then your intel is a 3D intel in a 5th dimensional world. It is not compatible. It is outdated. It cannot keep up with the speed of 5D. It cannot keep up with the light density. The light is no longer 3 density light. The light is no longer even 4th density light. The light is at 5th density light. That's how the light is coming. And if you're a 3rd dimensional soul, specifically in the shadows of 3D, oh, you burning out. You burning up and you burning out. You cannot handle this intensity. So this is why it's important to do the work. And some people may say, well, then how do I level up? And again, This is why I do the workshops. Because every time I work with the moon, you can do one workshop with me and you can carry that with you for the rest of your life. I had somebody tell me that they made their notes, and that's fine too. Hey, you made your notes and they use it every time the moon comes for the rest of their life. They got a new outlook and a new way to help them change and evolve. That's why I said it's worth so much. Like, I give a wealth of information and you can use it for the rest of your life. And it's going to help unlayer. It helps you to unlock your soul codes and tap in. When there's intense agreement, I smell lavender. God, gene ignition, circumventing aromatherapy. Yes, some of you will some of us who have different gifts, you will sense it in different ways, right? When there's an intense agreement, some of you may hear something, that's clairaudience. Some of you may see something, that's clairvoyance. Some of you may feel something, clairsentience. All of your inner senses, your sixth chakra, your 6D, if you will. Your inner senses come online, right? Definitely analog girl in a digital world. Yep. Oh, you're an analog girl too. Yep. I'm not that technologically inclined, so don't let me fool y'all with the computer analogy. It's just the way that it helped me understand it. I was like, oh, and I started to see that this is one big computer design. We're all zeros and ones, because that is the modality of energy and frequency, zeros and ones. The zero is the feminine energy. The one is the masculine energy. The zero is the receptive activity. The one is the creative activity. That is the modality of energy in the universe into the earth. That is how energy moves, right? We got to have ones and zeros. And that's how they knew how to even make the computer. To make a whole computer, that shows you that we are the computers. We are the true technology. We are the ones and zeros, y'all. Wake it up, tap up your third eye. You are the technology, not AI. You, the all-seeing eye in you is the true AI. You are the ascension instruments. You are the ascension tools. You are time vessels. Therefore, you are the ascension in time, should you so choose to be a part of that vessel in the dimensions of your mind. And I just saw 5. That's right. All 5 of you here, it's time for a change. 5. What did I say today is? 5-5 portal by the 5D calendar. And I'm sharing it because I'm letting you all know this is how you can use it to see where the portals are. The next portal after this, and you even see where the moon is. The moon is going to be here on the 29th of July, which is the 7th day of Leo. The 7th degree of Leo. Degrees are days. I'm going to keep reminding us that, right? And we have 1, 2, 3. We have Ashe. Okay, we have 3. Let me get back to it. 3, 3, 3. 3 5 5 portals. 3 times in this month, you're going to see the 5. So on the 5th day, there's a 5, obviously. The next one is going to be on the 14th day. I'm talking about the 5D timeline, y'all, not the 3D. Because in 3D, it's going to be a different date. So in 5D, it's going to be the 14th day, and a 4 and a 1 is a 5. And the next one is going to be on the 23rd. So on the 23rd, which means 23 degrees of Leo, 23rd day of Leo, it's going to be another 5-5 portal, because 2 and 3 is 5. Right? There are 3, and this happens in all months. If I go to the next month, it's going to be 3-6-6 portals. The only month that had 4 that I just realized this year, and this is how I knew that was confirmation that 4-4-4 cosmic basket, Barbolt's basket, 4 planets at 4 degrees, that's how I knew it was that, oh, I got new messages. I didn't even know that. Y'all be creeping up on me. You know what it is? Because the other phone is leaning on that phone. So it holds it and the messages aren't moving up. So if I'm not answering y'all, forgive me. I didn't even know. It's just, I just happened to look and it says you got about 42 messages. And I don't know if I'm going to catch up to all of them. I'm going to just scroll through and see what I catch. So forgive me if I don't see it. But what I wanted to point out was Heru in Cancer, in the month of Cancer. This is the only month, because it's the longest month. It has 32 days. And so this is the only month that had four portals. For that month, that was the fourth month. So it had four of them, right? And that was the only month that had it. And I didn't realize it till towards the end of the month when we were preparing for the bar bolts basket. And I saw down the bottom, this is what I was looking at, because on the 21st day is when it was supposed to be closing out, those 444. And so I saw 4 days, and then I was like, ooh, it closes out on the 4-4 portal. And then I noticed it was the fourth 4-4 portal, and it's the only month that has 4 of them in it. And then I saw the confirmation again of the 4 planets at 4 degrees on the 4-4 portal closing out. Like, I can't make this stuff up. I can't. So let me see. Let me put this here for a moment, because I think I should keep it there if I'm going to be able to see the remarks, right? I look at 15 as 6, because 6 is my life path. Okay, so good. I know that's way back, Otto. I know we had spoke about that, but that's how far back I was. Not the end time, the end ages, the age of Aquarius, new awareness, Ashe. That's what it is. It's not the end of times. It's the end of the world as we knew it. Love and light, family, enjoy. Ashe, Ashe. It was constant cool breeze on my walk this morning. Yep. Yes, yes, you're seeing that. Ashe. Our community just teared up. Yep. We tearing up right now. The 144 is tearing up. So those of you, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I just saw that. And thank you for the hearts. I can hear it. Oh, you could hear the wind. I can hear it in the air. I keep saying, I'm going to find that song, because I keep hearing it and I know I'm not singing it on key. I know, like, I'm not, the way it sounds is not the way I'm hearing it in my head. And I'm like, why can't I'm going to have to pull up that song for y'all to know what I mean and know what I'm talking about. Right? I've talked to a tree before and it reached out to touch me with its branch. Yes, that's 2D consciousness. Look at the video that I did on, I don't know if it's, did I post it here? I think I did, on TikTok and YouTube. But it was what the tree said to me. And this was just a couple days ago. I can't remember the title, but if you look a couple days ago, it's something about 3D. What the tree said to me about 3D. It was something about the fallen 3D. I think that's what it was titled. That 3D is not fallen, the illusion is. So look if you see a video that says that. If not here, you might see it quicker on YouTube. I don't know. But I was specifically speaking of a message that I got from the tree, sitting there under the tree, and the tree corrected me about some information that was coming in. And the tree is 2D consciousness. The trees are our elders. 2D consciousness was here before us. Right? Let me not spend too much time on it, because I do want to catch up. But yes, it'll be like that. Confirmation, black code, not compatible. Yes. So you saw what I was talking about. They are not compatible. Girl, my group home just kicked me out. Guidelines, please. Finna be street homeless. Okay, guides. You want guide. Okay, inbox me. I would say message me. And because everything happens for a reason. It's not the group home kicked you out. What I'm saying, I'm going to say it just like how I'm hearing it. It's not the group home kicked you out. You kicked you out. And I don't mean nothing personally that you did. There's something in you that is changing, and that group home does not align with you. It was probably even toxic for you, for your ascension. So as you are ascending, there's a reason why you're on that path that you're on. Don't count it all out. Don't say you're bad luck or anything like that. There's something that is happening and shifting in you, and it's time for your ascension. So you that are leveraging up on something in you cause this kickback in the energy that surrounds you, and they had to put you out, because if they didn't kick you out, you would never leave. And the energy that is surrounding you needs you to leave that environment, and by any means necessary. Basically, the universe is guiding you in another way. But then you also have to open your mind to see what your abundance that is around you, and not being in a mind state of lack. Faithfully, if you're still here, you heard that, right? And if you're still here, I would say message me, and we'll see what kind of guide that we can guide you through this, because it's a matter of just changing your perspective. If you're really coming into the true timeline, then those old ways don't serve you no more. So if they didn't kick you out, you would have never left, and it's time for you to ascend, if that makes sense. All right? So, and there's something that will open up for you. You're not going to be, if you say yes to the universe says yes to you. And if you accept the experience and walk in faith, and I don't mean wishy-washy faith, meaning be able to trust what you don't see, and know that your abundance is right there ahead of you, and you walk in that, something is going to open up for you, and you're not going to even know where it's coming from. Take your expectations out of the way. Expectation is fear-based, and it's the opposite of acceptance. You can't live in true acceptance when you are holding expectations. Could you explain more about 5D? Is it also a perception? 5D is a, hold on, let me scroll some more while I'm speaking to you, making sure I catch what it is. Again, forgive me for not seeing it before. Ladybug says WYA. Somebody please tell me what that means, because I don't be knowing all the acronyms. What is WYA? Somebody, if you could tell me that. But 5D, I'm going to explain that. Yes, definitely some more. Peace and blessings, abundance, Ashe, bridge, guidance. I know you in Jamaica. Yes, manas. When they say that, peace and abundance and manners, that's manas. Ashe, Yedeyayad, welcome abroad. 101, where you at? Oh, LOL. Look, see, I'm reading it differently. 101, where you at? It's LOL, where you at? Right? You probably was speaking about what I just read, Amanda, when he said manas. What's WYA? See, Amanda thinking the same thing as me. What is WYA? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. I need to know. Okay, I wasn't that far away. I thought it was like, it said like 42 messages. I'm like, damn, I missed 42 messages. What's clairaudience? Okay, yes, please. What is YWA? And I can tell you, oh, where you at? Duh. Thank you, Ladybug. Like, duh. Where you at? All right. Okay, I get it. I get it. All right, let me talk more about the 5D, as I was going to explain that to you. She said, yeah, that threw us off. At R, where you at? Okay. She was speaking to R. So R, somebody wants to know, where are you? They want to know WAY. Way. That's how I would say it. Where are you? Where are you currently? But where you at? I like that. YWA. Thank you for putting us on that, Ladybug. Ladybug is bringing the vibrance and the youth to it. Thank you. That's that youth right there. Where you at? Where you at? Ashe, thank you for that. So let me explain a little bit by 5D now. Okay, I wanted to make sure I caught up to some of y'all. So R, if you're still in here, if you can answer, maybe there's somebody here that can help you. So this is why, you know, put it out there. You don't know where your blessings may come from. You don't know where your blessings may come from, because we don't want to be less about nothing. I got to keep watching myself. It's such a habit to say blessings, but there's power in the words, and I don't want to be less about nothing. Ashe? All right, so very enlightening. I want to make sure I did answer before I go into 5D, because when I start When I start explaining, when I start to explain, Lucy, sometimes I don't see nothing else, my friend. I don't see no words. I don't see the question mark because I start to explain, you know? So, the fifth dimension is not a location. What I like to always let people understand is the fifth dimension is an expansion in consciousness, and we have evolved into the fifth dimension. Whether people like it or not, whether they know it or not, this is 5D. We are now in 5D. The earth is on its planetary ascension. She's turning over and shaking off all her dead cells. This is 5D. And so the old matrix is falling behind that, because the old matrix cannot survive in a fifth dimension because we become more aware. Remember, 5D is more of the energy, the atmospheric body, as I said, the expression, fifth chakra expression. And so the fifth dimension is what I call the expression of creation in time. The expression of creation in time. The expression is 5. Creation is 3. That's the third dimension. And time is 4. The fourth dimension is all about time. That's why I said a lot of you are experiencing the fourth dimension, because we're oscillating in and out of time. We're moving. We're feeling like time is over here, over there. We don't know what the day is. The time is going by like this, right? For some of us, sometimes the time slows down, right? It's taking real long. And you're like, damn, I thought it was 5 minutes, but it was actually longer. Sometimes you think it's longer and it was really 5 minutes. So our awareness of time waiting. So we're in that that in between space. So time, which is the bridge, the fourth dimension is bridging us into the fifth dimension. So 3D is the creative completion. It is about creation. It is when everything in creation came into the third dimension. So 2D consciousness is the earth. 2D consciousness is not just the plants, the elements, the plants, the rock formations, the stones, the crystals, the waters, which is elements. All of that is 2D consciousness. And as earth continued to evolve, and that's how you know it took work for even 2D consciousness to do continuously for there to be evidence of a 3D. The third dimension is when animated life force energy begins to exist as consciousness. Basically, species begin to become a part of life. That is animation. Think of animals, right? Animals are animated. That's why they call us animal cells, but we are really both animal and plant cells, because we appropriate the light just like the plants do. We go through a photosynthesis just like the plants do, right? I forgot, y'all. I know y'all see me speaking here. That's why I put the camera here, so I could speak to both of us. My apologies, YouTube. I completely put y'all on the side and was like, but I'm talking to you too, right? Why y'all gotta come and be loud right here, right now? Come on, move it along. Get that trash out of here. Right? So thank you for the heart me. And I believe I saw someone said they wanted to join while they're passing. Let me double check this. Let's go. That's right. Let's create. That's what I'm talking about. Go and create. I'm interested in the workshop. Message me. You can message me on TikTok or you can email me. To be honest, I will see the email better than that, because I'm still checking emails for people who are ordering their calendars, and I'm checking emails for who wants to join the workshop. So what you can do is go to my email on my page. It has my email. It's akilatextry@gmail.com. AKILAHTEXTRI@gmail.com. All right. So let me breathe. 5D is the love frequency, similar to how you have that dog whistle that only dogs can hear. Ashe, thank you. That's a nice example right there. On a certain frequency, You have to clean your vessel to host the frequency consciousness, right? So that's 5D. 5D is like not everybody can hear what's happening in the atmospheric body. So it's like that dog whistle. That's why you hear a lot of whistleblowers. Y'all notice that? Ever since 2020, notice how we hear the term whistleblowers a lot. He's a whistleblower. She's a whistleblower. Why can they blow the whistle? Because they can hear the whistle. Let those who hear the whistle blow the whistle for others to hear. Those whistleblowers that you all are seeing are the bridge between the whistle that those who are not hearing, the dog whistle. They hear the dog whistle. They hear the fifth dimension and they begin to blow the whistle so that everyone else can hear. So yes, your vessel has to be hosted. You have to expand your consciousness beyond the third dimension. And that's how you know, right? That's how you know that more of us are expanding into the fifth dimension, because for the earth to expand, it takes all of us. The more we, because it's all, you know, divinely orchestrated. The earth is not going to move without some of us. That's how you know a certain number of us have expanded our consciousness. We have evolved, and we send that information just by walking on the earth and doing our work, because we're conduits of light. The earth is electromagnetic. You're electromagnetic. So as you walk upon the face of the earth, you are exchanging information. You're having a conversation with the earth in your everyday life, right? Everyday life, world, and affairs. So when you move around, hi, how you doing? When you move around in your everyday life, world, and affairs, that's a conversation with the earth and the atmosphere. So you're letting the universe know where you are. So as you ascend, that information goes into the earth, into the ethers. More of us light up on the light grid. We start from like little flickers of light on the light grid, and then we start to really beam lights on the light grid. That sends the lights back. It's like uploading. When the light is going back up and beaming back up through our crown, we're uploading. Upload, sending it to the ethers. It gets the information back from the earth. More of them are coming online. So now it's more of us at a certain degree where the earth can start to ascend. We give the planet permission to ascend. Believe it or not, it is by our existence, because it's just a divine order and structure, right? Not everybody gonna be there. So some people, they getting shaken off right now. That's the dead cells. The ones who have not upgraded their intel and choose to stay as 3D consciousness. They can't, they're not compatible. They can't handle the light frequency. So they will transition, and maybe they can loop out in time to come back if they make it back in time. Because as the earth ascends, the more it ascends into fifth dimension, more and more, as it becomes a stronger fifth dimensional planet. If you left this planet as a third dimensional soul, you will not you won't be compatible to enter back into this plane. You're gonna have to find another world to have your experiences, and everybody trying to have the experience here. I'm just saying, a lot of beings, a lot of souls try to come into the earth plane. I know some of us may be like, I don't know why, it's hell on earth. But it's an experience that we need to have to help us in our ascension. And so not everybody gonna be able to return back. That's just what it is. Right? So faithfully, that helps to explain some of what 5D is. So it's not a location, it's not even just your perception, but it is coming from your perspective and perception according to how you live in your consciousness. If you are expanding your consciousness so that you can go into the fourth and fifth dimension. Some of us are beyond 5D. I know I'm one of them. Some of us are not just 5D. Some of us have gone into being a sixth dimensional soul or a seventh dimensional soul. Some people may even be at a ninth dimensional soul. It just means they're kind of like overqualified for fifth, not over, I'm not going to say overqualified, but they are more acceptable. They can really handle the fifth density light, put it that way. It's easy breezy for us. Like I said, it's hot, but we could go out there and we can circumvent. We can move the frequencies where we're not really feeling the heat like that. It's hot for them, not for us. We feel the heat, but we don't feel the heat. It ain't burning us up, if that makes sense. Ashe? Let me see if there's any else that I missed. I want to better my comprehension on dimensions. Is there a topic you suggest I could research on? You can look up, Dolores Cannon. Yep, she's one of the best ones that had been speaking about 5D before 5D even became a household topic in people's homes now. Dolores Cannon, look her up. She has a book called The Convoluted Universe, and she has a lot of audio. Like if you just go on YouTube and pull up Dolores Cannon, you're going to get a lot of stuff on her, because it's to the point where people repost her stuff. Other people who study her repost her with an explanation or an interpretation of their own of Dolores Cannon. So you may get a video of literally her giving you a 5D interpretation, or you may get a video of someone else who is interpreting her as an interpretation. Either way, she is good information to have on 5D. Or you can Google or just look up fifth dimension or 5-dimension books, because I've heard there's some other 5-dimension books out there. A lot of the information that I get, as I said, is within. It's because of the deep work that I've been doing that the codes have just opened up, and the whole Akashic Records and Book of Life have just opened up with inside of me. I don't even have time to read books because of how much the downloads be coming and how much I'm reading the Book of Life within. I can't even, I want to. I'll be like, "Ooh, that's a good book," and I would want to read it. I can't even get into time because I'm constantly reading and downloading and transcribing what's coming through me. So a lot of it is just, I'm 5D, I've been 5D compatible. So a lot of information just comes. But yeah, look up Dolores Cannon and there will be a lot of information there on you. Oh, there's Dedicated. Welcome in, sis. Love and light to you. Interesting. I was trying to learn how to whistle yesterday. See, you're becoming a whistleblower, and it takes one to know one. He who hears the whistle can begin to whistle, right? Some people out there giving information and they can't even hear the 5th dimension. They can't hear nothing out there. We got a lot of fake ones out there. So be very careful of who y'all listen to. And these be the people that got hundreds of people listening to them, and they not doing their work like this. They not opening the Book of Life within them. A lot of their information is AI generated. They're not tapping within. They don't know it for themselves. Who feels it knows it. True wisdom comes through true experience, true embodiment. How are you giving information out there and you have not embodied it? It has to be experienced. It's experiential. It defeats the purpose if you're just getting it from AI, because then you're not having the experience. That's not true wisdom, right? Ashe, ashe, right? Ooh, I like that heart cake. Give me the cake. Give me that cake. Right? Because we know how to tap into the wind. Yep. And deep waters within. That's the primordial waters. And right now we also have primordial energy. The energy is the waters, right? That's why the sacral chakra is the emotional body and the element is water. It's energy in motion. Emotion. Now, Shay. Yep. She's today's prophet. Ashe. Who is that you're talking about, Ladybug? If you could clear that up. Who is today's prophet? 144. Who is today's prophet? Let me see, sis. That's where I started. Dolores Cannon. Yep. That's when I first heard of 5D. But then just by listening to her, I realized I've been 5D. I've been waiting on everybody else to catch up. That's why I was always like out of the, lost and feeling like I'm not from here. But Dolores Cannon made it feel like home. Once I started to hear her, like it resonated so deep, I didn't even have to read her book. It's like I read her book and I never read it. I never physically, literally read her book, but I know her book. I know The Convoluted Universe. I am the convoluted universe. And I'm saying I am, the I am in me is the convoluted universe. And when you understand you as being the universe, you will know it to be true. The multi-dimensional layers and levels of yourself and the universe and the relation to the universe is so multi-complex. It is convoluted. It's not one dimensional. You're never going to catch things one way. It's layered, it's intertwined, it's interwoven, it's convoluted. So you will never you can never understand it all. That's why we got to get out of our ego. Nobody knows it all. You just have to know that you know what you know and that more is always unfolding. Like when people ask me, they may like, dang, you got a lot of information. I do. I know a lot. Do I know it all? I sure don't. I sure don't, because I be questioning some other stuff that it's still convoluted. Trying to comprehend the complexities of this universe is pretty convoluted. And the way I get through it is I just know the wisest man knows nothing at all. You just can't know it all. Get out of your ego. Stop trying to know it all. You're not here to become a know-it-all. You're here to experience it all through the knowing, right? And through the wisdom that lets you know that you don't know it all. So keep knowing, keep going. Because the moment you think you know it all, you stop. That's inertia. Anytime somebody thinks they know it all, they don't look no further. They stop looking. That's not what you're here for. You're here to be constantly remembering. Oh, Ladybug said Dolores and you. That's why I was asking, because I was like, is she talking about me? And then I remembered, of course, I'm always pushing my ego out the way, right? This is how we got to deal with our ego, y'all. So when you said it, I was like, Prophet right here. Is she talking about me? And then I pushed my ego out the way. It's like, hold on, ego, get out the way. What else was taking place? Oh, yeah, we were talking about Dolores. So I was like, oh, Dolores is the prophet. She's probably talking about Dolores. But then the other part of me was like, and you too, so it may be both of you, but it's good to have the practice of moving you out the way first. And I share that with you all just to share. This is how I constantly always work on my ego. Anything that it's a natural reaction for us to be like, oh, yeah, me, like the peacock, the pride is ready. Our peacock feathers are always ready to go up. That's the ego, shoo. And then I got to be like, wait, drop it back. I always got to be deflating the ego. And that's something I do constant ego death work. That's my shadow work. And people who work with me, they know, they learn, they like, oh yeah, damn. Constant ego death work. So I push me out the way, like all the time. Sat down, and then when I get clarification, then I could pick me back up. Because if you just go with the ego, it blocks you. You miss the message because your ego done ran with something. So just to kind of share that with y'all, that's how I process it through my mind. Maybe that'll help somebody here. I don't know, but I do know it will help. It will help with the shadow of Leo. As we just entered South Node in Leo, is to remove the shadows of Leo from us. And that's a shadow. When we're puffed up in our pride and the ego is, we sometimes feel entitled to a compliment, or we feel entitled to something, whatever it is, that sense of entitlement that is often coming from ego. So the way to work with that is when something comes up to you, first thing, push your ego out the way just for a moment. I'm not saying you can't have your wise ego, but push your ego out the way just to have some clarification. That's how you can actively work with your ego in the evolution of this particular nodal axis from South Node Leo to North Node Aquarius. Right? Ashe, same thing, sis. Come on now. Yep. I know you know it. Primordial beings, when the primal side becomes totems for many years of ego. Ashe, primordial beings, when the primal side, becomes totem for many years of ego discipline. I like that. I had to read it a second time. That's what it has to be. Your primal side has to become a total pole for ego discipline. Put it aside. Put it on the totem pole, because we have to have this inner discipline. Ashe. Yes, yes. Let me see. Shadow work is powerful, not for the weak. It's not. Everybody can't do it. What's the difference between the ego and the soul? What is the soul? Is it love? Right? Excuse the garbage man coming by again. Then us at him. And I just saw 1111, and then there's 11 thumbs up. So enlightenment, that number is for somebody. 1111, whoever sees it, whoever saw it, whoever caught it. And I see 11 on both, on YouTube and on TikTok. 11. 1111. It just went to 12. Wait till that distraction roll by, and I'm going to explain that to you. I'm going to explain that to you right now. Grand Rising, we must do our shadow work and work on our Ashe. As a spiritual animals, I meant, yes, I know what the totems are, the spiritual animals. So when you said that, I did see that as a spiritual animals. I just didn't say it because that's how I see the totem, what the totem is. And so when you put that primordial, you know, as you said it, the primals, let me go back to it. Yep. When the primal side becomes totems, which are the spiritual animals, they become years of ego discipline, right? So let me answer that question. What's the difference between the soul? It's actually a part of the convoluted universe. It's convoluted and it's interwoven into your soul. The soul is comprised of 3 parts. There's not one. It's not like the soul is just, it's comprised of 3 compartments. That's your superconscious, your conscious, and your subconscious, right? So let's understand that first. I always say the mind is the soul. The entire mind is considered superconscious, conscious, and subconscious, and that is your soul. That is the driver of your vehicle. That is the body. You are a 3-fold being. You are spirit, soul, and body, right? So of course, the body is the vehicle, the soul is the driver, the spirit is the essence and the precious cargo within that is guiding. It is telling the driver where to go if the driver so chooses to listen, right? Sometimes the driver ignores the spirit in the car and drives where it wants to go. Ashe? So that 3-fold being. So when we understand that first, we understand, overstand, and understand that first and foremost, we're 3-fold beings. So now within the soul, within the entire mind, it is a 3-fold compartment: superconscious, conscious, and subconscious, right? So now I'm going to show you where the ego is. So the conscious phase of mind is the ego. That is where the ego exists. That is where we do all of our decision making and our thinking. That is our conscious phase of mind. Now, the ego is also a 2-fold because you have your wise ego and you have your misappropriated ego. So a lot of times we operate out of our misappropriated ego, and that is the problem. We're not supposed to get rid of our ego. We are supposed to humbleize our ego. True humility presents an ego death, meaning the misappropriated ego needs to die so that you can rise in your wise ego. So the ego is supposed to be there. That's the part of you that says, I am confident. I am that I am. I am beautiful. That I amness of you with the confidence is your wise ego. It's supposed to be there. The problem is a lot of times our misappropriated ego dethrones our wise ego, Asar, and we start tripping up in here and operating out of the misappropriations of our ego, which comes through our wounds. So the soul is all of that. It's comprised of all of that. But the ego is the part of you, the identity, the personhood of you, the personal will is your ego. And that's why that's the number 1 block of the crown chakra: ego attachment, personal will attachment. We are supposed to be in divine will, but when we are so infused and connected with our ego, personal will blocks you from total connectivity with the universe and the divine and divinity. Our ego has to be humbleized. We have to have constant ego death activity so that we are always walking in our wise ego. The moment you slip, you slide. And it's like that with every decision you decide. Does that make sense? Faithfully, I answered that. Right? And yes, it is all love. Your superconscious, for those who may be wondering, okay, so what's your superconscious and your subconscious? You know the part of you where it says God made us in his image? That's your superconscious. That's spirit. Spirit flows through you directly through your superconscious, which is your Christ conscious. That's why it says, that's why Yeshua said, no one goes through the Father but through me. He didn't mean me, the man. He's talking about the Christ consciousness that he embodied. The me that he's talking about is the I am that I am, that he embodied. So when you embody I am that I am, you become the Christ. You become Christ consciousness. You walk in Christ consciousness. You align with your superconscious mind, which is automatically spirit, connected to spirit. That's superconscious, and only spirit can conquer the animal primitiveness and the misappropriations of the ego that comes through primal issues, if that makes sense. So that superconscious is that. And the way we activate our superconscious is when we have a harmony between our subconscious and our conscious phase of mind. So where the conscious does all the thinking, the subconscious is the feeling. This is the Adam and Eve, male and female created he, them both. And feeling, will and understanding. That's the sun and the moon. Masculine, feminine, creative activity, receptive activity. This is the modality. So where we do most of our work in the soul is between the conscious and the subconscious mind. The superconscious never imposes. You know how they say God never imposes? Divine never imposes. We have to have a harmony of duality between the conscious and the superconscious. And when we do, that is the activity of allowing the subconscious to bring to the light of consciousness what is hidden in the dark. Right? That is allowing the subconscious to bring to the surface, because the conscious is the light. The subconscious is everything that is under consciousness. It's sub, it's under, it's in the unknown. You are unaware of it. That's why people are out here unconsciously behaving. It's unconscious to them. Ashe? So faithfully, I was able to break down that threefold. So you know there really is, it's intertwined. So the ego is within the soul. If I can simply explain that, I would just say the ego is in the soul. But I wanted to do it, you know, break it down so that you even understand the ego's place within the soul. Yes, we must do our shadow work. Ashe, ashe. Primordial beings when the primal side become. Okay, you did rewrite it for me. Thank you, because I went to scroll back for it. But thank you so much. Yes, it is alignment. The difference between the lion and the hawk. The lion disciplined by watching the hawk within. Ooh, I like that. I like that. The lion disciplined while holding the hawk within. Right? And I'm going to wrap it up too. I feel the energy. I've exhausted a lot of energy. Like when I come on here, I just be sharing. I wasn't even planning on coming on today. And then I saw it was the 5-5 portal. And I was like, oh, well, let me talk to the people about the 5-5 portal. If you haven't seen it, I don't know if you guys, some of you may have not have been in here earlier. So this is the 5D calendar. You can get them at a 5D calendar near you, which is with me because I'm near you. Right? If you align, you can email me and you can go ahead and access and have the 5D calendar so we can operate with it and know where we are. So if you see here, you see today is the 5th. It's a 5D portal because it is the 5th day of the 5th month. That is Leo. 5th day of the 5th month. So that's the calendar that I'm sharing, and I'm sharing it more when we have another 5D portal, which would be on the 14th of this month, which means when the sun is at 4 degrees or when the earth is at 4 degrees of the sunlight in Leo. Right? Let me see what some of you are saying. Could you elucidate on the masculine and feminine inside of us? How can I utilize both? Okay, I think I answered that in what I was explaining with the soul, because I didn't see question. You probably asked it before I went deeper into it. So just let me know if I did. And if not, I'll give you a little tidbit on that. So let me know, Otto, if I had answered that masculine, feminine, because I remember I was breaking that down between the subconscious and conscious mind. So just let me know if I did. And if you need to know a little tidbit, just let me know. I often think atom. Yep, that's true. The atom story is an atom that splits in two. As I flow with the zoo young mafia, I don't know what the hell's stopping it. Yep, that be my inner peace, my inner funny in me. Bear with me. The energy is flowing. Right? Sometimes I just burst out with songs, something to be said, and that's how it hits me, like into as I flow with the crew, young mafia. Y'all know what era I come from. This seems to be similar linguistics when we separate the atom. Yep, that's exactly why I said when it splits, that's what happens. That masculine and feminine inside of you, the atom splits. That's why they like to try to tell you the story as if the Eve came from the rib, like Adam split. But they're not telling you the truth about the atom that splits. Ashe? Otto says, nah, love Biggie. Right. I'm a Biggie person. Thank you for sharing great info, much health and wellness. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in and sharing the love and light. And I'm glad to share this all with you. So, I think you're saying no, I didn't get that. So are we supposed to unite, heal? I wonder. All of that. We are healed. There's nothing to be healed, only truth to be revealed. I love that quote. Ever since it was said to me, I was like, what? What you mean? But I get it. There's nothing to be healed, only truth to be revealed. The revelation of truth is the healing. And I mean that in every aspect. From your body, from the mind, any injuries that you have in your body, it shows up in the body because the body keeps the score, and because it went chronic in your mind and in your consciousness, you weren't paying attention to it in your consciousness, so it shows up in the body. Every ailment, every sickness, every toe that you buck, every external pain and injury comes from an internal pain and injury. Every external dis-ease comes from an internal dis-ease. So when you begin to operate through the mind, when you allow revelation of truth to help you to change. See, the 5-5 portal is about change. 5 is about change. So we're being called into the essence of change. I started this message today at 858. Which means change within the infinite existence. Change within the 8-8 Lion's Gate. Change what we are having right now in this particular moment as it leads up to the 8-8 Lion's Gate. It is time to change because we are at ascension time. So there's something that has to happen in you that creates that change. And this is what we're having right now. Change time. Change time, change your mind. Right? I said nah because I didn't get the masculine, feminine part. Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to make sure. Yep. So before I say that, weapons. So what I was saying too about the unite. Okay, spirit, bring it back to me. Yes. Before I got into change and change. So the revelation of truth helps you change. And that is the healing that you will get. So nothing to be healed, only truth to be revealed. The more you reveal the truth, the more you shall be healed. The more the nation answers to the revelation of truth, the more the nation will be healed. The world. Heal the world means reveal the world, if that makes sense. And yes, we are supposed to unite because the love frequency, 5D, is the love frequency. The love frequency, which is the highest frequency of order, is the unity frequency. So that's when we come together, when we bring the harmony of duality helps us unite and create. That's why when two come together, they create a baby. When they harmonize, when the masculine and the feminine come together, they create. They harmonize, they bring it into one, and they create one baby. Unless they're having twins, but either way, both of those bodies are created from a harmony of duality. that created one atom here and one atom there. Ashe. So, answering that question, yep, we are supposed to unite and heal the world. And I'm going to say this, and then I'll close out with this. Need some water. Oh, I didn't get my tea. I left my tea. I forgot about that. I just realized I was supposed to come out here with my sips tea, and I forgot it. Um, Masculine and feminine. What I can explain about the masculine and feminine is, of course, there's a harmony, and that what I say about that is the masculine and feminine energy. This is not about gender, but understand, overstand, and understand that the gender is an outward symbolism, a biological representation of the esoteric, energetic modality, flow and modality of energy, the modality of energy. The way energy moves is always through the zeros and ones. It's always going to be through the feminine and masculine energy. Now, we call it feminine and masculine energy because that's what humanity has come to recognize it as, because of our vessels of being biologically or physiologically a man and a woman. So we exemplify this in our physical existence, but it's not about gender. Gender is a what do you call it? It's a symbolism, it's a division of it, but it's not it. At the deepest esoteric level that is closest to source, that duality is considered receptive activity and creative activity. The receptive is feminine and the creative is masculine. So we are naturally the receivers. That feminine energy represents receptivity, because when you receive instructions, then you can do something. The creative activity can create after receiving instructions. So we receive instructions to give it. We channel that information. In order to give information, you have to be able to receive it. So there's a receptive activity that happens first, and then it can do, right? So even in the battery, this is why we have the negative and the positive charge. And this is why the feminine represents the negative, not negative as in bad, but negative as in a negative charge of energy. And the masculine represents the positive charge of energy that represents the creative activity. So even in the battery of the car, your battery can't go if it doesn't have a plus and a minus, because the minus receives the codes of information, the plus gives it the go. Receive, give, and that is how your battery goes. And that's how your heart pumps too. That's how the neurons move around you. Anybody who understands biology or have studied neurons, the way the energy moves or the information is moving around the neuron at a microscopic level is plus and minus. It's a plus and minus charge that moves around the neuron and through the axon of the neuron, through the middle, out through the dendrites that attach to another neuron and connects the messages. And it's for that neuron to either receive or block, right? And this is why I can explain medicine to y'all too. Any medicine out there, it either does two things. I don't care what the medicine does, what they name it. All medicine, all pharmaceutical, all of that information, they do two things. They're either blockers or receivers. So it's either going to block something, it's going to have that be a blocker. So when the dendrites connect, nothing comes out because there's a blocker. Or it's going to be a receiver, which means how it works with the neuron is it allows it to open and receive, right? So I could even break these things down and tell you about medicine. I could really work in the medical field if I wanted to, but I don't. I love energy, because energy is everything, and all the answers is inside of energy. So now let me ask, did I answer the masculine, feminine energy? Well, I call it energy, but let me know if I answered the masculine, feminine. Okay, let me see. No. No coincidence we cross paths. I received this message. Ashe. And continue in the receptivity. Feel free to email because we're building our community. So if this resonates with you so much and it aligns, let's build our community because that's what this ascension time is. This is what is rising on the light grid. So we want to come together and communicate where we can have meetups, where we can meet, whether via Zoom, but we want to start building this community, not just here on social media. There has to be a certain stability in the community building, if that makes sense. So if you've been looking for your Starseed family and you found this at a particular time and it really resonates and speaks with you, then go to your guides and ask. You don't got to listen to me. I'm not trying to open up a spiritual club and invitation because I'm only looking for serious Starseeds that are ready to build in the fifth dimension. So if this resonates with you, I'm sharing with you, you may want to reach out so we can begin to build a community. I came through the 8-8 gateway. Oh, somebody else born 88. Someone was just telling us that last night, that they born 88. Yes, and healing is great spiritual power. Yep, Ashe. It makes so much sense. Thank you. Okay, so it was explained. I wanted to make sure I got it. Need your calendar and unite with sisters. Yes, it resonates. Ashe. So if this is for you, we're doing another an activation transmission. We just did one yesterday for the 2626 portal and the Galactic New Year. And we're going to be doing one for the 8-8 Lionsgate. So if this resonates with you, email me, message me so we can continue and we can connect. And if you want the calendar, happy 5-5 portal, by the way, and make sure you look into today what is changing for you on this ascension timeline. And if you want the calendar, same thing. Email me. You can message me here, but the best way is to email me. My email is in the link in the bio, so feel free to tap into that. So you tap in. I'm going to tap out and take a break in the rest of the day. So faithfully, and I could feel it in my shoulders, like I've been sitting here and that's how I know it's time. My body's saying, you said enough, you've given enough. And if anybody wants to donate to the cause, feel free. You can also, that same email is my Zelle. You can Zelle me through that email. And I take any donations available because we're also beginning the building and getting prepared for the next retreat. So, which is in Jamaica. So we're preparing for that. So if you can give to any of that, all of that helps me to continue doing what I'm doing, plus take it to the next level. So any donations that you can give through Zelle. It's all welcomed. Wait, what's the calendar? Oh, the calendar, it's a 5D calendar. It's a tool that's going to help you get off the old timeline and onto finding your true timeline. This is a third one that I've done, that I've co-created with the spiritual team. And also, what else was I going to say? This is how I know it's time for me to check off. I could feel me slowing down. It's like, whew, I'm ready to breathe and relax and go eat me some fruits. I need some watermelons, y'all. I need some sacral chakra food. Today's my sacral chakra day in the workshop. And again, I'm also doing the workshop for anybody who wants deeper information, and we do dive deep. 144 gets you through the door. If you're the 144 ascendants, if this speaks to you, tithe in with that 144. That's stamping that you are aware that you are investing in your 144 ascension time in this timeline. So you can email me. Again, you can Zelle me the 144 and you can put it in the memo either way and let me know, and I'll send you the coordinates for the workshop as soon as you send in the 144. Outside of that, I'm doing a detox to detach after this, and that's, you can just donate whatever you want. There's no price on the detox to detach. So if you feel inclined and you want to join, you might say, well, I don't have the 144 right now. The detox is open and available. Usually I would open it up, but I'm getting my own lesson with this workshop right now where Spirit is like, unless they have the 144, don't open the door. So that's why I'm saying, I'm reminding not even just you, but to myself, 144 throat chakra. 144 gets you through the door. And that reminds me, the throat chakra is very, very focused on with this particular full moon. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're releasing, if I never see or hear from any of you again, whatever you're doing and releasing, the throat chakra is being activated, and it's time for you to say something and speak up if you haven't already. And it's time for you to express, even in your doing, according to your integrity for what you've been seeing. Regardless of how anybody feels, you have to push through that, and it's time for you to express that. 5D, the expression of creation in time. It is asking for you to authenticate the vibratory field, the atmospheric body. It is asking you to circumvent truth. All right, so that's what I have available for you. I do one-on-ones. I do natal charts. For any of that, you can email me and I'll share that information with you. Please give your email if possible out loud. Okay. Legally blonde, not accepting diagnosis. Very, what did it say? Oh, I can't see the last word. It's akilatextry@gmail.com. AKILATEXTRI@gmail.com. And again, if anyone didn't get that, it's in my bio. If you go to my page, it's right up there. akilatextry@gmail.com. Ashe. So once you get that, hey love, I see you. Shayna Boo, how you doing? So I was just closing out, but yes, the 5D calendar, if you want it, you can email me. You can get it. It'll help get you on a true timeline and off of the Gregorian timeline, right? And so remember, in all, be true to you, because it's ascension time. So the throat chakra is asking you to speak up and say that thing that you haven't been saying. Do the thing that you haven't been doing. And most importantly, have accountability. This 5-5 portal that is asking for change. And I'm closing out reminding you all of this. We are in a season of discernment on the brink of disclosure. And to have that discernment is one thing, to see things and know things. It's another thing to have accountability about it. All right. And so, as I said, the Galactic New Year was yesterday, while Saturn went into retrograde, and Saturn is about accountability. And let me say this is how you know I'm speaking to the 144. I can't make this up. Saturn went into retrograde in Aries at 14 degrees and 44 minutes. If you don't see the 144 in that, that's a call to the 144 to say, hey, it's accountability time. Ability to have account for what you have been discerning, which means set your boundaries. It's time to set your boundaries. Y'all see what's going on. You see what time it is. Set your boundaries. I don't care who they are. Love them and love them from afar. Set your boundaries. A lot of the things that are happening to you in your life, world, and affairs is because you're not setting your boundaries within you. It's not about telling people what they can and can't do around you. It's about you being bold enough to set the boundaries within you to not accept certain things anymore and to be able to do without. Okay, I just can't come around you then. If you're not going to respect me, if you're going to still do that, if you're going to siphon my light, if you're going to disrespect me, if you're going to take advantage of me, I then need to say no, or I need to make another decision. I need to change my environment. Either way, set your boundaries. And I'm going to leave y'all with that. Ashe. So thank you for those of you who sent all your gifts. And remember, 5D calendar. I do natal chart readings, sacral chakra readings, one-on-one, any of that. You know where to find me. Ashe, peace, love, and light. Be well on your way on this 5-5 portal day.